Welcome back here to the Luling Eagle Sports Broadcast. Been having a lot of fun today doing all these interviews with the 2024 Luling Eagles Sports Broadcast Watermelon Thump Queen Candidates Show, LESB Watermelon Thump Queen Candidates Show. So I mentioned earlier there's 6 candidates, and so the last but certainly not least in alphabetical order was Madilynn Spradling. Some of y'all know her as. So she's here now. So Madi, welcome to LESB.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir.
So I know you've been looking forward to this for a long time. I know you were around. You work. People who don't know, she works here at Mom's Sports.
Yes.
So she was around here last year when we did all the interviews then. And then I don't know if you were here the year before that, but this is the 3rd year we've done it here. So she's aware of how all this works. So I don't have to tell her anything. She's ready to go. So we're going to get started with the questions, 6 questions, like the same as I asked all the other candidates, no different. So question number 1, Madi, for you is please briefly introduce yourself and who your parents and grandparents, if desired, are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Madi Spradling. I'm a senior at Luling High School. My parents are Myra Johnson and Johnny Don Johnson, as well as Justin Spradling and Shannon Zamora. My grandparents are Esperanza and Armando Lopez, Robert and Julie Zamora, Penny and Benny Spradling, and Shirley and Johnny Johnson.
Okay, and I mentioned it on all the other interviews. I'm going to mention it here one more time. These girls did not have business sponsors this year. They did it all on their own. So that would have been where I would have asked that question, but there was none of that this year, so that got eliminated, okay? So for those of y'all that didn't watch these other interviews where I said that, just make sure y'all are aware of it. Okay, so question number 2 for you, Madi, is what are your earliest memories of the Thump Queen contest, whether they were as a young lady or more recently?
When I was younger, I remember my cousin Victoria running when she ran and won in 2012. And I remember going to my grandma's house and her posters would be everywhere, all over the floor. And my grandma would be like, "Oh no, be careful, don't step on her posters." And I just remember everybody being so supportive to her. And from that moment, I just knew that I wanted to run. And she ended up winning that year. And then she invited me to help in the coronation court. So I got to carry the Queen's crown in the 2012 coronation.
Right, and so
yes.
You should bring that up because I have seen, on your social media that you have some pictures of you when you were little.
Yes,
you were a little bitty thing,
yes,
and
sir.
I remember you back then. Of course, I didn't know you as well as I do now. But yeah, you were helping out, and all those pictures, and all your mom sure was pretty proud of you then.
Yes, sir. Yes, I used to get so nervous because you're meeting the Queen, and it's a big deal, and then I realized, oh, she's my cousin.
Yeah,
so.
Right. And actually, Victoria, you're talking about Victoria Vasquez,
yes,
correct?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and I think she was Queen in 2013?
2012.
Okay,
yes,
so I wish I would have brought. I had the paper, had the list all
yes,
and I know that. And of course, I do remember this one. Ileana mentioned Demi Ulos in the 2021. She was part of the first group that I interviewed. So, so the next question for you is: who were the biggest influences, whether individuals or a group of people, in your decision to run for Watermelon Thump Queen?
A group of people that were my biggest influence were definitely the past queens, because I've seen how involved they are even years after they've ran. They've moved, they've gone to college, and then they came back, or they're still gone and they still help out as much as they can. So even with the scholarship being go now, that's a great example of something that they do. And being Thump Queen, it would be just like a super amazing connection to your town, and something that you can never forget about, and something that always brings you back. And so they've really inspired me, and they show a really big dedication to their town, even if they're not from here anymore. And then one person I will have to say is my boss, Miss Gretchen. She's back there in the kitchen. She's back there in the kitchen. I've never told her this before, but I've always wanted to run since I was little, but she's the one that really pushed me. She doesn't know that, but growing up, I was always very shy, and I was very. And, I always wanted to run, but I never thought that I could do it. I started working here my freshman year at Mom's Front Porch, and I saw the way that she interacted with customers. And my cousin in the comments, I saw the way that she interacted with our customers and visitors that came to Luling to come get coffee, or, hey, I found you on Yelp. They would come in here to get coffee and ask, what's Luling about? And Miss Gretchen would just be able to easily tell them and make them feel welcome into our community, and she really inspired me to want to do that for others.
Oh, great. Okay, that's good answer. I mean, that's good. I had some good answers today. Probably the best one so far, I have to say. number 4, I think is what we're on now. So what are some of the other activities that you enjoy? And I know you do. I've known you for a while, so I know you do a lot of them.
Yes,
When you're not busy with schoolwork or other extracurricular activities, such as running for the Watermelon Thump Queen.
Well, at school, I played a lot of sports. I've been very involved with the athletic program for many years. I played volleyball, tennis. I've been a cheerleader, and then last year I was actually the mascot. Yes, it was something a little bit different, but I like to try everything.
Right.
And so I was also on the softball team for a little while. I'm the president of National Honor Society at the high school. I'm involved in all honors courses, and so I know it doesn't count as extracurricular, but the homework sometimes can feel the homework can feel like extracurricular activities. And so outside of school, like I mentioned before, I work here at Mom's Front Porch. I've worked here since 2022. I'm very grateful that this is my first job. It was an amazing job. And then I also like to volunteer by coaching the little kids. So I grew up playing all sports, and so I love to be able to pass my knowledge down to them. So I've coached with the Luling Youth Volleyball League, and then coached the basketball league, the little kids of basketball. And then recently I helped coach the Challengers team, the newly created Challengers team. And so they called us buddies, but we were coaches.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yes,
well, another good answer there. So, so if you are voted the Watermelon Thump Queen, Maddie, who is the first person or group of people that you will thank?
The first person I would have to say to thank would be God, of course, because He's the reason for everything, and He helped me get up when I had no motivation on days. When I was stressed, I confided in Him, and He really just helped with everything. But other than that, my parents, definitely, my entire family. Every year I watch these videos, and I see that everybody says their family, and you never really hear it, but you don't understand until you go through it.
Right.
And so this is it's been such a completely different experience than anything I've ever had. And seeing how my family has been so supportive to me, I truly understand what everybody else meant when they said it now. More specifically, probably my stepdad. He is super techie, so he can create everything on his computer. And so when I told him, I was like, I want butterflies. Is that possible? And he made it possible.
Yeah,
and he
and so now everybody knows the butterflies.
Yes,
your
sir,
posters
yes, sir.
and stuff that are here in the area. Of course,
Yes, sir.
Of course, even online, you put it online too.
Yes.
So I've seen it
But
there.
I've told him, do you think you can make this possible? And he's like, it's gonna be hard, but I'll work on it. So
Right.
my posters were very detailed,
So,
but it took time.
Two things that happened today is that I got now 2 other techie contacts. Of course, I've known your stepdad, Johnny Don, for a while now. He's made a comment here on what we're going on here. So he's one, and then I interviewed Stu Myrick earlier. He's a guy out of Austin, and I've known them for a while on the radio. And he's I was told he could just about do anything with one hand. I think him and your stepdad might have been in a competition to see who could do stuff with the least amount of hands. So anyway, so the last question, Maddie, is the most important one, I think. And you need to look right in that camera where that light is and answer it when I ask it to you. And it's going to be, why should people vote for you, Madilynn Madi Spradling, for the 2024 Watermelon Thump Queen?
Hi, everyone. You should vote me, Madi Spradling, for the 2024 Watermelon Thump Queen, because I have been raised here my entire life, and I've learned the traditions of Luling and the values of Luling. And I believe that I can represent our community well, and I can be welcoming to visitors into our community. And so I would really appreciate y'all's vote. It's going to be tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Watermelon Thump Pavilion. So if y'all can swing by real quick, I would really appreciate it. Hola, mi nombre es Madi y este año soy candidata para reina de fiesta de la sandía. Agradecería su voto el 22 de junio al Thump Pavilion.
And this girl's holding out on me because I didn't know she knew Spanish. She knows Spanish.
Just a little bit, yes.
Just a little bit.
My
We do enough
grandma.
to get by anyway. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, you just mentioned it, or you took part of my spiel. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Like you mentioned, the voting is across the street from us here. You didn't mention that part across
Yes,
the
sir.
street at the Watermelon Thump Pavilion. So, and again, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then as long as you can write your own name, and as long as you can distinguish the list of candidates on your own without assistance, you can vote. Doesn't matter where you're from. I mentioned earlier in a couple of interviews that they can be from Canada, Mexico,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
Rihanna and I were talking about, when I used to work at the info station downtown.
Yes,
We've had some people come in from Europe and from
Yeah.
Japan, from other
Yes.
countries. So it
For
is
sure.
possible that
For
all they
sure.
have to do is be here tomorrow. It doesn't matter if they
Yes,
ever come
bring it.
again, and they have to know, you, Madi Spradling from any of the other 5 candidates that they want to vote for you. So anyway, so I know, and two, you had kind of touched on a little bit. Everybody does something on voting day. All you candidates do something on voting day. So what will you be doing, and where will you be doing it at?
My voting crew, so like all my friends and my family, will be set up at the Apple Lumberyard right under the big sign across from Farmers Insurance. And then we will be serving food at the Civic Center. We're going to start around 11 a.m. and we'll have some brisket and some mole from San Luis.
Okay, great. I knew you were going to be having the lunch at the Civic Center.
Yes,
I was
sir.
aware of that. I saw it on your social media. So, and of course, I mentioned to you, and all the girls I've shared already. I think I've shared it just about with all the girls that have already been, and I will with you when we finish on your social media. You can share these videos as you see fit. Like I said, Madi is the last one today. So we do thank you, all of you, for joining us all evening long, all afternoon long, whatever your candidate of choice was. And, if you want to vote for Madi, you can do that. If you want to vote for one of the other 5, you can do that. So, but, she will, I guarantee you will be part of the court. You just don't know where you will be the queen, the princess, or one of the 4 duchesses. So you'll be one of them. You don't know which one yet. So anyway, Madi, let me ask you, you got the floor is yours. You got anything you want to add before we leave this evening?
I just wanted to tell you thank you. I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all might just watch for the Thump interviews, but Mr. Eric does interviews all year long, and he broadcasts all of the sports all year long, and it's very amazing that Luling has something like that, because there's been times when I haven't been able to make it to a game or something, and I could just go on YouTube and find it. Yeah. So I just want to tell you thank you, and thank you all for supporting not only me, but Mr. Eric as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And on behalf of my colleagues, Brian Wright, Greg Tracy, Logan Pettis, and his wife, Megan Cox Pettis, and Greg's wife, Stephanie Tracy, and then Patricia Trish Calloway. Also, so thank you for bringing that up, and then want to get them, work them in there. So that we're a family as well. And then like Madi just mentioned, we do. And I mentioned it earlier. If y'all missed the interview with the coaches, please watch that. We try our best. And we're all about the kids. I know Miss Gretchen, your boss, Gretchen Moore, is all about the kids. We're just it's all community, and it's all, we support y'all. Y'all support us. So we really do appreciate it. And we, of course, like you said, this is normally a sports broadcasting outfit, but it's, of course, you guys are out of school right now for the summer, but you are. I know you had recently you had an injury, but you're trying to get past that.
I'm doing good.
But you're going to be participating in the sports in the fall, I know.
Yes.
So we'll be covering you then too.
Yes,
so we appreciate. I appreciate the kind words, and on behalf of my colleagues, I'm sure they do as well. So, okay, well, I think that's it then. And like I said, thank y'all all for joining us all evening long, afternoon long. And vote for your candidate of choice tomorrow across the street. And just best of luck to you, Madi. Just see how everything turns out. But just for now, we'll go ahead and let you go and let you get back to campaign. I'm sure you got some campaigns.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So, again, that's Madilynn Madi Spradling, one of the 6 candidates for tomorrow. And so thank you, Madi, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And just hope we'll see you out around tomorrow, I'm sure, that you do your campaign. Okay?
Yes, sir. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.